And then do you think that political independence would have come without Gandhi?
Oh yes, I am sure about it. It might have been in slow degrees, but I personally myself think that if Swaraj had come in slow degrees in India, it would have profited the people better. You see, for each community or each group, you see, which is suffering from many of these disabilities, you see, would have been able to consolidate itself at each stage of the transfer of power from the British. You see, today the whole thing came as a flood. You see, people were unprepared. And I always think that the Labour Party has been the most stupid party in England.
Was it Gandhi who was too impatient, or the Congress Party? Was he?
No, personally, I do not know how suddenly Mr. Attlee agreed, you see, to give independence. That's a matter of secret which Mr. Attlee one day, I think, will disclose in his autobiography, how he came to do that, you see, because nobody ever expected. You see, such a sudden change of front. Nobody ever expected. But it seems to me, from the analysis that I make about it, there are two things which I think led, you see, to the Labour Party to take this decision. One is the national army that was raised by Subhash Chandra Bose. The British had been ruling this country in the firm belief that whatever may happen, you see, in this country, and whatever the politician may do, you see, they will never be able, you see, to change the loyalty of the soldier. That was the one prop on which they were carrying on their administration. Now that thing was completely dashed to pieces, you see, when they found that even the soldier was being seduced, you see, and to form a party or a battalion to blow off the British. Then I think the British came to the conclusion that if they were to rule India, the only basis on which they could rule was the maintenance of the British Army, going back to the year 1857, when the Indian soldier rebelled against the East India Company. And they found that it would never be possible for the British to supply India with enough European troops, you see, to keep their hold on it. You see, secondly, I myself think, I have no evidence, but I think the British soldier wanted the disbandment of the army immediately, so that they wanted to go to their civil jobs. You see, you know how much indignation there was at this gradual disbandment of the army, because those who were not disbanded felt that those who were disbanded were going to take their jobs. What's going to happen to them? You see? Therefore, they could not, you see, think of having enough of a British army to keep India down. You see? And besides, they had thought, I think, thirdly, that after all, what they gained from India was commerce, and not so much the civil servant salary or the army income. They were small things, and they had better be sacrificed for the sake of keeping something which was much more profitable, namely trade and commerce. Because whether India remained independent or India accepted dominion status or something lesser than that, you see, the trade and commerce would go on just the same. I think, personally myself, I have no authority for that, but that is the way the mind of the Labour Party turned.